So in this question, you were given a diagram which had information which had been given in terms of the bearing. So you need to read all the information. You're told that Jane was taking part in an orienteering competition. She should have ran 160 metres from A to B, so that was the direction there that she should have gone in, on a bearing of 032. Now that is that angle there from the north line round to the direction to go off on A to B. However, she actually ran 160 metres from point A to point C, which was on a bearing of 52 degrees. So the angle between the north line and this line going off in this direction was 52 all the way round. Now what you're asked to then write down is what size is the angle BAC. So that is actually the angle inside the triangle. So that's that little bit there. So in order to work out this little bit, when we know that all the way round is 52 and this little bit here is 32, if we take them away from each other, we clearly get that this little bit in here needs to be 20. So your answer to part A should have been BAC was equal to 20 degrees. Your 52, you're actually doing the 52, take away the 32. Now, putting that information into drawing the triangle without the north line, because we don't need the north line, we're now being asked to work out the length of BC. So how do we do that? So we know it's a non-right angled triangle, so that means it's either going to be my sine rule or my cosine rule. And the way to remember which one it is if you've got two sides, which we do have here, and you've also got the angle in between those two sides, then it is going to be the cosine rule. And the cosine rule's got two formats. There's the one that starts a squared equals and the one that starts cos A equals. Now clearly we are trying to work out a length, so we are going to be using the one that says a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cos A. And if we mark onto our diagram with lowercase letters, so across from angle A, that's side A, across from B, you've got B, and across from C, you've got C. So when we fill all the information in for our calculation, we're going to have A squared will therefore be equal to 160 squared plus 160 squared minus 2 times 160 times 160 times the cos of the 20 degrees, your angle A. And if you do all of that in the calculator, it comes out with 3087.7378, whole load of other digits. And remember that we then need to take the square root, and to avoid having to either round that and then round again at the end, if you press the square root and then the ANS button, which is next to your equals button, it will take the square root of your previous answer. So we're doing the square root of 3087.7378 and all the rest of the digits. That brings you up an answer of 55.5674, whole of the other digits. So our answer here, you get A equals 55.57, and that would be metres. So calculate the length of BC, and that would be your length of BC, as long as you had labelled the diagram with the lowercase letter A, that would match. Or you can also write this at the end, BC equals 55.57 metres. So give yourself some feedback, have a look at what you wrote and see if you need to improve your layout or you're working or your solution, make sure you've drawn a diagram. Very important, so that you can name your sides and also make sure you pick the correct rule to use. So it should have been the cosine rule that you worked with.